Hi guys, welcome back to another growing and getting ready series video. I'm actually so excited because I did this makeup look over the weekend and I absolutely loved it. So I just need to recreate it and show you guys. This is a very mainly all cream products, very natural looking, and then a nice pretty sparkly eye. Very natural though. This is kind of like my go-to look. So I want to talk to you guys. I wrote all of this down. I have my notebook here. This is just like a one from Target. I actually use this for work, but I wrote down everything that I want to talk about in today's video. I'm going to try to leave this as unfiltered as possible. I stumble over my words all the time and I feel like I say just a bunch of incomplete thoughts and sentences a lot that I try to cut out. So if it's ever egregious, I'm gonna cut it. But besides that, I'm gonna try to leave this as unfiltered and unedited as possible just because I want to update you guys and talk to you more in a vulnerable FaceTime. I'm really just kind of telling you what's been going on without all the editing, without all of the transitions and texts and things. I'm gonna break up this video into 4 separate parts. How I'm doing, how things have been. I feel like I haven't even sat down and actually spoken to you guys for more than 5 minutes on how the last month and a half, 2 months has been with getting sick, vacation, moving, literally everything. So I want to talk to you guys about that. I want to talk to you guys about how my transition has been with medical school, with Thomas, my boyfriend, starting medical school while we're starting to live together and everything, and just kind of things that I've learned along the way for both of them. So we're going to talk about that. And then I want to sit down and talk to you guys just about how I am now and where I'm at, where my mental state is at. I haven't done a reflect and prep video, and that was always my diary journal entry for you guys, just to kind of really tell you what's been going on away from all the editing and building things and working and stuff. So I just kind of want to have a heart to heart with you, growing and getting ready video. We're in such a big process of, or not we, but I'm in such a big process right now of growing. I'm transitioning away from living alone to living with someone. And that is such a big deal. I thought I knew what I was getting myself into because I've been dating Thomas since high school. We'll get into all that later, but I just want to talk to you guys about how things have been transitioning into medical school and living together and how things are now. Very long intro, but we're gonna do our makeup and stuff too. I'm not going to tell you guys what the products are for every single one. I think I have some of them here, but the standout products I'll show you guys, but these are all mainly cream products and I'm so freaking excited because this was just such a pretty look over the weekend and I'm gonna wear it all the time. So I just have to show you. So if you guys wanna get ready with me, catch up, hang out, then let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, let me just gonna dump everything out. I'm gonna show you guys, I think this, my products as I put them on the side or something. I don't really know, we'll see. But I just need to not edit this video that much, honestly. Well, let's just get into how I'm doing, how things have been. And we need to rewind a lot. So let's start with the beginning of July. Thomas had been gone in Korea for over a week and I was just so unwell because I missed him so much. It had been so long since I had seen him and I just was not doing well. I guess I think I didn't anticipate how much I was gonna miss him while he was gone, and it just was really hard. And I was so excited for him to come home because at that point he was coming home pretty soon. He was coming home on July 8th, 7th, I don't even remember. But I was so excited for Thomas to come home and then I got sick. So that sucked. Wait, what am I doing? I got sick because I got food poisoning and it just sucked because I was not even in the right state of mind when he came home. I was sweating for 2 days straight. I hadn't even showered when he came to my apartment and I was trying to vlog that week and I just ended up honestly never even using that footage. It was so bad. But yeah, it was just crazy. So he came home and it was all shambly because I had food poisoning and everything. And so all of that happened. And then we went straight to Tulum. I was honestly still recovering from being sick when we went to Tulum. I had been testing for COVID the last 7 days in a row with every at-home test I could find. I wanted to make sure that the period had passed before so that I knew I didn't have it because I wasn't gonna travel if I got it. But I hadn't even been doing anything other than going to the office that week anyways, so I was pretty certain that I didn't have it. It was just food poisoning. I was running to the bathroom and I had just had sushi and then that lasted for 7 days. So it was all just like really crazy, whatever happened with that. We ended up going to Tulum, and when we like reunited, it was just like very anticlimactic. I like wanted to look all pretty when he reunited and stuff, and like because I missed him so much, I was doing so poorly. I mean, you guys saw like the summer was not my summer. That happened, and then we went to Tulum and it was amazing. And I took a whole week off of work. We had so much quality time together. That was like the best time ever to travel with my boyfriend. I had never done that before, let alone like I had never even traveled without my mom and dad before. So it was all just like very, very new. And I loved it. Like, I feel like when you travel with your partner for the first time, for any of you guys that have already done that, it's just hopefully it's just such an amazing experience, because it's like, wow, I didn't know that I could go to a whole brand new place in the world with just my partner and like love it. So Tulum happened, I was so happy, and then we had to move. And then all of that started, and moving was just literally crazy. It was so crazy because we got home from Tulum and the next day we got our keys, and I took one day off of PTO for moving because I had literally taken a whole week off for Tulum, that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take one day and then we're gonna figure it out. Otherwise, Thomas wasn't gonna be starting school for another week or another like 2 weeks by the time we had moved. So I was like, okay, this will be good. We can move and try to get the place done as soon as possible by the time that he starts school, because that was really important to me. I wanted to make sure that like he was comfortable by the time that school had started, because I just didn't want him to stress about another thing. Tulum happened, moving happened, and then if you guys have moved before and moved in with your partner for the first time, I'm like going through all of the natural experiences of like, okay, I'm moving in with him. Like, we're trying to figure out how to move in general. Moving sucks. So moving sucks in general, but moving with your partner, it just adds a layer of like complexity to the act of moving. So that was like a whole adjustment period. I mean, if you guys had seen my moving vlogs, I basically said like I was not my best self during moving. Thomas was really nice, and he was so patient that I was like going crazy in my head, being like, why am I not as patient as him? And I realized it was because I was so used to living alone. I am such a hyper independent person, and that's another thing that I'm like realizing as I live with him. I need to kind of like not give up part of my independence, but I need to shift the way that I live, because I'm no longer living in my own space by myself, but I have someone living here sharing his space fully with me too. So it's kind of going from having your own space to coexisting with someone else. And because it's not a roommate, it's like your partner. It's like a whole separate thing that I like did not think was even gonna feel like a transition, but it was. So that's how all of that was going on. And I was editing, I was building, I was filming. While going through all of that, I was just not sleeping. I was trying so hard to make that moving content like the best that it could be, like telling a story of how that portion of the moving journey was going with like my editing style. It takes like such a long time, you guys, to edit. I think usually my vlogs will take like, I stopped like counting honestly, but they don't take no time to edit. And I think the moving content was adding like an extra like maybe 25% to what I had already been doing with editing. So it was just a lot. And then work, of course, like after a whole week off of PTO, you're like so busy because you're catching up and stuff. So everything was just so crazy, and I was just not my best self. I had no time for myself. I was not exercising. I was not moving like my body at all, and I just wanted so bad for the apartment to feel as done as possible, at least like functionally, so that we could both feel good about the space by the time that school started. So that is how things are going. Looking back, I think the moments that I did document were really fun, but looking back, it was just so chaotic and I was so tired. And it's not that I wasn't happy, I just was like crazy. I was just feeling so everywhere, like all the time. And then since I was on vacation before, like I had all these friends that I wanted to see. So it was just so much because I'm such a yes person, but I was like saying no to some friends because I had to move and stuff. And yeah, it was just a lot. And moral of the story is, if it looked like moving was so simple and so nice and so happy, it was a really happy time. I'm so happy I documented it, and I'm so grateful, honestly, for all of the friends that helped us as we were moving, because that just made it like even more fun. but I'm so glad it's over. So that's how things have been. I'm so glad moving is over, and just thank God. I know I look crazy, but this cream blush is so nice. And the key is to put like some blush on your nose. I don't know why. I think it just brings so much life back into your face. I love it. This is the Tower 28 blush. I talk about it all the time. It seriously is the best blush. I love it. Okay, I'm looking at my notebook. Next up, we're gonna talk about just like medical school and living together more in depth of how that transition was, what you guys can expect from me, and yeah, just all of this. We're in the second part now. Okay, so I think for me, you guys, I put so much pressure on myself before medical school had started because I was just so hyper paranoid, and I'm a paranoid person in general. I mean, you guys know me. My biggest fear is just being a bad something, and my biggest fear is just that like I don't mean anything to anybody. So I was so in my head before medical school. I was like, how do I show him that like I really care about Thomas starting this part of his life? I want to be as supportive as possible. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to like take a more traditional role and just make sure he's always fed? Or do I stay up with him when he stay up late or not? Or like at what point do I choose my independence versus being a good partner versus him starting medical school in that part of his life? So I was just going crazy, like I said, and I feel like I'm gonna say that a million times because that's just what I keep saying these days. But I was just like, I don't know how to handle this. And it's weird because I felt like I didn't know how to handle it, even though like my sister, my brother-in-law was in medical school, my dad went to medical school, and I don't know, like for some reason I was like, I just feel like I still have no idea like how to approach this. So before medical school had started, I was like, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm doing. And then the moving process, like I wasn't my best self at all, and I was so hard on myself for it. I was like, I need to make sure that I like get my everything together, and I'm like so supportive and nice no matter what when he starts school, especially because I just wanted Thomas to have like as smooth as a transition as possible for him starting school. I think I just put a lot of pressure on myself, and it was really hard because it was all happening at the same time. It felt like by the time he started school, I was only like a week and a half into living with him, and it did not feel fully adjusted at all. So that was really hard. But thank goodness, you guys, I have been doing therapy since March, because if I didn't have anyone to talk to during that time, I would have just been like having mental breakdowns 24/7. Like, just thank goodness I had my therapist to talk to every week about making sure I didn't feel crazy, and like her validating me when something was just like a normal part of life. Like, it's not me being paranoid. I just want to be a good partner, and that's normal. Or I'm just going through the growing pains of transitioning living with my partner. That's normal. But I'm just so quick to think that like my life is doomed and that it's not normal and it's just all like gonna blow up or something. So I am just so glad that I had therapy by the time Thomas started school, and I was like comfortable with my therapist too. So yeah, thank goodness. Okay, before I move on, you guys, this is the new Merit Beauty bronzer sticks. You guys, these are so nice. This is in the shade Sen, and I just wanna show you guys, this is like the prettiest cream bronzer. I've never even tried cream bronzer before until this, and it's so easy, it's so natural. It's just like a light little contour, like, and then we're gonna do a little bit right here, just to like chisel the face a little bit and bronze it up at the same time. Oh my God. Like, what? It's so nice. But then when I blend it all out, it's gonna look so natural. It's so nice. I'm gonna leave a link to this product in the description box. This was gifted to me by Merit. Thank you so much, Merit Beauty, for sending me this bronzer stick. It's so, so nice. I also use their 1980 brow, and this was gifted to me a long time ago, but I use this like every single day for my brows because it's so nice and pigmented. So I'm gonna show you guys how this looks at the end. This is kind of like the star of the show. It is so nice, I promise. I'm gonna put a little on my eyes too. Back to what I was saying though, some things that my therapist has taught me while I was transitioning with Thomas starting medical school was two things that I was trying to keep in mind all the time. First, observe, do not vocalize. And I'm quick to be like a very vocal person. I'm not afraid of ever saying my opinion, and I've always been a very vocal person. But as Thomas was starting school and as we were starting to live together, I was still learning how he lived best like how he studies best, how he shows his stress, how he goes about his day, and just all those things. So usually I would be like, okay, let's sit down and have a conversation about it, or like, let's be really clear about when you're stressed, I do this. But my therapist actually told me just to like observe him and learn through your own doing how he lives, and don't ask for his clarification, but just kind of learn and see how he lives over time. Just observe him, because if you keep asking him, then it's just gonna stress him out. And Thomas isn't the type of person to kind of vocalize like right away, like, okay, this is how I work. It's more so an after effect of like, maybe we had an argument and he's like, okay, this is how it works for me. In trying to avoid those situations, my therapist was like, just observe him. And if you feel like you're being snappy, just take 3 breaths before you speak, or walk away, go on a walk, because I love doing that. Try to transition him starting school in that way. Just be observant and try not to vocalize unless you feel like it really will make a difference. So I'll always ask myself, like, is this worth addressing with Thomas, or is this something that like I can reflect on and talk about it with him later? So especially with school, I just wanted him to feel like comfortable, and at the same time, I wanted to feel comfortable, and I wanted to feel like I was doing all this right too, and learning and all that. So yeah, I'm just so glad that I had my therapist during the time that he was starting school, because I was just so in my head about everything. I was like, how much should I even like have me time by myself away from him? Should I just make sure he's always like comforted and there, and I'm there and everything? But having my one me time thing, living together, and him starting school, it's like YouTube, of course, but it's also just going on walks, spending time by myself where like he can't really help me if he's there. So if I'm editing, he's probably studying, and that's just us coexisting, and that's not really quality time, but we're just doing our own me things together. Or going on a walk and he's just not there at all, and I'm just listening to a podcast. I'm listening to Anything Goes by Emma Chamberlain. Best podcast ever. I cannot believe it waited so long to start that podcast. But go on a walk, do a me thing alone, or a me thing coexisting with Thomas. And in ways, slowly, I feel like I'm starting to prioritize myself again, and I'm learning how to balance living with my boyfriend and living with a brand new medical student. So, but the moral of the story is just thank goodness for my therapist. Therapy is so nice, you guys, and sometimes you just need someone to cry to every single week, and you know that you have that as like a safe space. And I don't want to burden my friends. They've seen me cry enough. So it was so nice having my therapist. Okay, you guys, look at how nicely the bronzer blended. It's so pretty and just so natural. Everything is so natural. All I need is like a really good cream highlight. All I have is a powder highlight. As this is drying, I want to finish off this last part of part 2, starting medical school and living together. It is so easy to make a billion plans and do social things, but something that's really been helping us is just having like our own quality time together too, and like reserving nights for date nights or nights with no plans, to make sure that like we are spending that quality time together as a couple and not just like roommates. We like to have dinners together a lot. So dinner is like really good daily quality time, but having like date nights like every 2 weeks, every month has been like so nice too. And especially me, you guys know me, I'm so quick to just like make all these social plans because I live pretty close to my hometown. So a lot of my home friends are still here. And I have a bunch of new friends, like Selena is so close by, and it's just like, I feel like I have a lot of social things really quickly. So having Thomas here to like help me be like, okay, you don't have to do social things all the time now because I'm here. And I just really like that fact now. Like I used to fill my space with social time, not living with him, because I didn't have anything else to do. And now that I like do have someone to be with when I come home from work or when I finish the day working from home, it just feels like such a greater sense of like purpose. And like, I just feel like I have so much more love in my life to share on a daily basis with Thomas. And it's just like such an incredible feeling. I actually cannot get emotional about this, but it is just such an incredible feeling knowing that like you're making such a big step in your relationship, and it's not easy, but it just feels more and more right every single day. I just feel like it's like a sign that I'm with the right person, and I love it. I really love living with him. And I love that he's starting school while I'm living with him. Like, I want to be there for it, and I'm still figuring out my stuff and how to do like my life with him. But just having him here with me is it's just such like a grounding point for my mental state too, which is like the last part, which is what we're going to talk about, like how I'm doing now. So the adjustment period is definitely, I think, starting to dwindle down. I feel like we have a really good rhythm of how we live together. He just had his first exam, and yeah, it's been going well, but it definitely was a whole process, and I can't even believe it's like the end of August now. It's crazy. I think that wraps up everything with moving and stuff and living together. Okay, lastly, I want to talk to you guys about how things are doing now. So I've talked to you about like how the last month has been, how moving was, how living together went, but now I want to talk to you about like where I'm at right now as you guys are watching this, because I'm filming this 2 days before you guys are seeing this. I feel like I could be better. I feel like, honestly, you guys, ever since like moving, it's not that I got burnt out. I was feeling like I was beginning to feel a little burnt out, which is why I took that video off and stuff. But I just feel like I keep having like really social weekends where like friends are visiting from different states. So obviously I want to prioritize that, or like I'm straight up hosting them. So I need to, you know, be present with people. But lately I've just been feeling like I can't keep up with everything. Work is so busy. Like my job just never really has any low periods or like chill periods. I feel like I'm always busy, and it's truthfully like not a job that I'm like in love with. I'm so glad I made the change away from consulting, but I think the longer that I'm in this job, like the less I feel like personally attached to it, which honestly may be a good thing. I've definitely been having like very stressful deadlines and stuff with work, and I think it's also hard to just work your corporate job in the summertime when like all you want to do is be outside and with people. So I think in general it's just hard to work in the summer. There's that's how I'm doing in that way. And so yeah, I feel like I'm just really busy, and I feel like things are slipping. I am so consistent, and I really do take a lot of pride, not in like a good way, but I am like so consistent with my upload schedule, and maybe I'm just learning how to take care of myself a little better and like be a little more gracious with myself. But a part of me is like really mad at myself that I haven't been like consistent with Monday and Thursday. Like this week you guys are seeing Tuesday and Thursday, or last week I had to skip Monday entirely. And it's just, when I feel like I'm slipping up like consecutively like that, I'm just really quick to shut down and be like, okay, I don't have it together. I know you guys will tell me that like I'm totally doing fine, and I know that this is just all in my head, but it's hard. Like I have high expectations for myself because I want to work hard at my job, and I want to be a good creator that I'm proud to be, and I want to be a good partner to Thomas, and I want to be a good roommate to Thomas, and I have family that I want to see, I have friends that I want to see, and I have friends that I want to talk to because they don't live here anymore. And it is just so much. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know how I'm ever doing any of this because it's all just so much all the time. The reality of where I'm at right now is all I want to do is just read a book. And I feel like I don't even have like the capacity to like prioritize reading or watching a show. There's so many shows that I want to watch, and I can't even do that because I'm either sleeping, working, editing, or socializing, or I'm with my boyfriend. And then truly like I have to sleep. So it's just crazy. Like I feel like something's got to give sometimes, which is why ultimately this week and last week I changed my upload schedule or just like didn't upload. So it's like really, really hard for me to be okay with, even though I know it's fine. Where's my thing? Even though I know it's fine, like I don't know. I just feel like things are slipping, and I'm not being my best self, because my best self is like a very balanced me, and I'm happy, and I'm not like having like mini mental breakdowns every day. I mean, I'm not every day anymore. But up until like maybe like 2 weeks ago, I was so just like having a moment every day. And that's so unhealthy. So I've been trying to sleep more and like not have that. And I don't have to keep the balance beam balanced at high. Like I can keep it balanced at like a medium level. That's what I'm trying to do at least. Okay, here's the Your Golden palette from ColourPop. And then I have this Urban Decay Moon Dust glitter eyeshadow. This thing is so freaking nice. I'm gonna do a really simple look. I'm just gonna use this color and this coral color and this like brownish color. mix that all in my lid and then put the glitter on top and we're done. But yeah, that's where we're at now. I just feel like things are slipping and I'm not being well-rounded like I usually am. And it's just really hard. This is probably what so many people have to deal with all the time. Like, even if you don't have YouTube, I'm sure you guys have things that you need to balance. Like, maybe you guys have sports that you do and you're on a team, or maybe you have kids, or maybe you have like family members that you see like on an absolute daily basis and stuff. It's just like so hard, I think, to balance a job, a passion, and people, especially when you prioritize all of those things like pretty equally in my head. Like, I would never want my work to become my life, but it's how I make money, so I can't really let that down. Or I would never want my social life to get in the way that I'm not sleeping, but I love people so much. I love being around people, so it's like, okay, well, that's hard too. And then what was the third thing? YouTube. That's my passion. So how am I supposed to give up my passion in any way when, like, obviously I like my passion more than my job, and in ways I like my passion more than people because I'm like investing in myself. So when you can make the argument for like anything and everything, I think that's what makes it really hard to know when something's got to give. And I think that's something hopefully I'll learn like with time and with age, but I'm trying to just like take it day by day. And if I can at least just do like one thing for myself, like if I can just go on a walk once, or if I can journal once throughout the day, or even just like listen to a song that I really love and not do anything other than listen to that song, then that's a win for me too. My battery's dying. What? Have I been talking that long? I have. I need to speed this up. Okay, I need to change my battery. Hold on. Okay, you guys, I think I just moved frames. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was talking for so long, but I'm almost done. All I have to do is put on the glitter, put on my highlight, and then mascara, and we're done. No eyeliner, okay? It takes too long, it looks a little less natural, and it's honestly just because it takes too long. I love eyeliner, I'm just too lazy. But okay, let me just finish what I was saying, and then we'll finish off this makeup look, and then we'll be done growing and getting ready. But I forget what I was even saying before. I think I was just saying like, take things day by day. That's like genuinely the only thing that we can do if we're having a hard time ever in life, because at least we're living another day, and at least we wake up every morning with another opportunity to make things right in our heads. So that's how I've been trying to see it. Like, if I'm going through a hard time, or if I had a bad day, I know that sucks, but it doesn't last forever. And especially with like the missing people, I feel like I've told you guys like here and there how hard of a time that I have when a close friend of mine like moves away from here in proximity. As time goes by, I think it really does help. It's kind of like you either choose to survive or choose to get through it, or you just choose to continue to live in misery. And especially with friends moving away, I just eventually got to a point where I was like, I can't be sad about this anymore, because people are not in charge of how I feel. I'm in charge of how I feel. And if me missing my friends that have moved away, if that makes me so sad for so long, then it's almost like I'm putting that responsibility on them to make me feel better. And that's kind of not fair of me. Or putting it on my partner, or just putting it on anybody, saying like, I'm sad because of this person. And that's just not fair, I think. That is something though that I've realized like maybe like 3 months down the line, you guys. It's been like a really long journey, but I really do feel like I'm getting better in that way. And even though things are slipping with like my upload schedule and I'm really tired and I'm really busy, there are still improvements that I've made, and I do feel like I've really still grown as a person. And even with Thomas, like how we've been starting school, I feel like I have grown so much just like as a partner and as myself. Like, I thought I was fully ready for him to start school and for us to live together, but the truth is I wasn't ready at all, and I'm still learning stuff about him every day. I'm learning how I can be a better person every day for him. It's kind of nice. In a way, it's nice knowing you don't have stuff figured out, because it's just life. I'm only 25. You guys know what I use. It's the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Waterproof, and then we will be done. Lately, I've just been liking doing a very natural lash. Nothing like too intense, just enough to make it like make my lashes visible, but nothing like, I just do one coat and then that's it. Okay, And then we're done, you guys. My hair is grown out curls from 2 days, and I touched it up a little bit on this side because it was falling. I think it's pretty obvious, but here's the finished look. Oh wait, my lip. Honestly, what I've been doing, you guys, is putting this Merit blush on my lips just for like a little bit of color. And then it's like so natural. It just brings like a little bit of color back. Well, my dining table is a mess. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this growing and getting ready video. I feel like I just rambled a lot and I don't know how much I'm gonna cut this, honestly. I literally have like a deadline tonight and I just wanted to take a break from work and do my makeup with you guys and talk to you guys. I wanted to do that last night, but I was just so stressed. I love you guys. Thank you for bearing with me and for being patient with me, allowing me to be flexible. In the end, this is like my side hustle and I try my best to keep this YouTube channel like a job, but it's my passion and in the end, it really is just my hobby. So I had to move things around again. I'm sorry. Hey, you still have 2 videos from me this week and at least there's that. And I promise you guys, I'm gonna get a groove on everything. I'm taking it day by day, but at this point, end of August, I really feel like I'm starting to like very, very slowly like get a handle of my routine again and everything will be fine. It's fine. It's literally all fine. Comment whatever you would like. I really feel like I just like poured my heart out to you guys and wrote like a huge journal entry. So if you guys have any thoughts about anything, please let me know. I want to talk to you guys. And this is like my favorite type of video, just one where I'm chatting with you. It's basically like a podcast episode. There's nothing to really watch. You just have to listen to me and see this finished makeup look. And yeah, guess that's it. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video, but until then, miss you already.